Hello real world spectators, my name is Rain and welcome to another video log of my life on the Isekai realm. This is video log number 27 and today we're here in this frozen ocean biome which is Rasketron's domain. And today I'm starting things out by helping him with his base. It's a few terraforming things that I need to do here. And he already went ahead and prepared a shulker box filled with the materials that I would need in order to get this done. So what we need to do here in this base that he has already built all by himself on the ice, it's pretty large. I really like how it looks. And and see him in here. There he is. He's I think he's adding lights, the lighting for this base. So adding sea lanterns inside of the window areas so that it's properly lit and it's not too dark inside of this place, and it does look good right there. I did give him the suggestion for doing that. So then, without any further stalling, because we have all the materials that we need to get started, let's start making a walkway here. We need a walkway to go all the way around each of the exits or entrances that this base has, so in each cardinal direction. So I'll have it as a two block wide thing here going here. Because it is the center is a 2-block center, and we want this to go all the way around, and then we'll be removing some of this ice here in order to put something else there, which you will see as soon as I'm done making all of these walkways. It should turn out to be something very interesting, and just as this build is, it won't be very square or anything. It's going to be a very I want to say organic shape, because the base itself has a very interesting shape. I really like how it stayed, and so I'm going to do the same thing for the walkways around it. And then in between these areas here, we will have something very special, like I said before, and I'm very good at terraforming and stuff like that, so you know it's going to be something close to that. Alright, so I have here an outline of a part of it, so it will be curving around the walkway, will be curving around from there, going all the way around to the other side where there's an entrance as well, because each of the cardinal directions on this building have an entrance. I just have to ensure that I'm consistent with the other loops that I do around it, that they come out the same shape and they fit quite nicely. And so let's just take a quick flight and see what we have so far, and that's the shape that I want. Oh, we have some pillagers up there just roaming around. These guys really do appear anywhere. It's sort of fun to mess with them at times, but yeah, I always get distracted by them. Let me just move from here on. And we do have one just on the ledge there as well. That they're just gonna fall and kill themselves as they usually do. They're not very bright. Alright, so let's get to fixing up this here and filling in the areas in between, and hopefully Rasketron can help me with that, because it seems he's already finished with the with adding the lighting. And I'm basically done here with the entire outline, and now all I have to do is fill it in. And Rasketron has already started filling it in with cyan terracotta, because those are the color palettes that work well with his base here in this frozen ocean. So I just need to get a bit of thank you very much, so that I can do some myself, since you know I'm already done with building the outline for it. So let's just finish that up, and then we can start the juicy part of this, which will be the little gaps in between each of the loops, which I plan to build something, and it does have to do with terraforming. I've been getting much better at terraforming and building in general since the first time I came into this world. It's only been like 27 video logs, and I'm already doing quite well. And you know, I really like how far I have come so far, and I wonder if anyone else out there who is also in this realm, in this world, have created alliances the same way that me and Rasketron have done. And yeah, okay, we're done here. Alright, yes, let's do. Alright, Rasketron, I guess that's all I'm going to ask you to do, because I'm going to be doing the rest. And this came out quite nice. I would like to hear your opinions on this in the comment section below. Do you think this is a really nice walkway that joins on each of the entrances that are in each of the cardinal directions on this base? You can't really see it well because of the rain, but yes, I really do think it looks nice. And we do have the major and main juicy part to add in, and that's dealing with these areas here that are emptied, that these little spaces here, sorry, that have ice. I have to remove all of this ice right here right now because I want to replace it with dirt. I do plan to build some mini little versions of biomes in each of the 4 of them. I think that was a great idea that I came up with to make this base look a little interesting and, you know, a little bit, because it's very blue due to the fact that it's in a frozen ocean area. We want to add some color to the cyan terracotta and white and the blue ice that you see that looks so cold and frigid, and you know, we want to add some little different textures and color palettes that can stand alone because they will be separated off into different little biomes, and it does make this base look a little bit like a research facility. And of course, I'm going to be collecting all the ice that I've mined, including the kelp and anything that I can come by so that I can use, because when you're busy with many projects, you don't really have that much time to grind out to get the stuff that you need. And just like if I ever see squids like this, I definitely kill them so that I can get the ink sacs from them, because they don't spawn very often and it's very difficult for me to do a squid farm in order to harvest a lot of ink sacs. But yeah, this is it cleared out right here, and what I need to do next is to start working on each of the biomes in each of the gaps between each of these loops. I decided once again that I want to capture these guys again, all of these pillager patrol captains, because they might be useful later on. I did have an amount already captured near my first mining outpost, but I'm going to capture the ones that I find here in Rasketron's domain as well, because they can be used to trigger raids, and that is always a good source of emeralds and totems of undying. So let me just go ahead and lure this guy somewhere in the water so that we can have him right here, right there. Come in, go inside, go inside. He won't do much damage to me, so I'm not worried about him shooting arrows at me. So yeah, I already have him captured in there. And apart from that, we do have like a little bay area that I've been capturing for quite some time. Also, Rasketron has been capturing some by himself as well, and then he put them in this little area, which is basically a frozen ocean bay, that we will be collecting all of them once we capture them, because we will be working in this area for quite some time, so chances are that many of them will be spawning, and then we just capture them and leave them right there until we need them later on. So I've been thinking about what biomes I want to add in each of these gaps here, and I'm thinking maybe like a desert and stuff like that. So I will need sand and dirt and a lot of things, and I'm definitely not going to mine on the nearby islands because I do have at home the stuff that I need in order to fill in these areas. So yeah, maybe this side I do a taiga, and on the other sides I do something like a mushroom island, anything that would be different from the actual biome that we are in. And so that's what I'm going to have to go. It's a good thing I have a boat on me right now, because they are both of them actually, or more. No, I see 2 captains here. I'm just going to capture them quick and just leave them here, or probably eventually just put them in the bay area that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I don't need that one there. He's not a captain at all. If I recall correctly, right in my storage system that I recently built, I do have a lot of dirt blocks here, like chests full actually. So I'm going to grab a shulker box that I have in here that's empty, and then I'm going to grab a lot of dirt from there so that we can start building the platforms on which the little biomes will be built on. Now this is going to take a lot of time, so I'll get Rasketron's help for this as well. I do have the shulker box here filled with the dirt that we'll be using, so I can actually get started on one of them, and then Rasketron can work on the other one over there while I work on this one here. So basically what we need to do is just make a platform below, which is 1 block lower than the actual ending of the base right there. And the reason why we need to do this, especially when making biomes such as a desert biome here, sand doesn't float like that. It's a gravity affected block, so it will fall. I do also have to ensure that I fill in this area to have a 2 block tall wall that encases each of these little biome sections, because if I do decide to put mobs that are related to the little biomes in here, I wouldn't want them to escape. So a 2-block high wall does make sense, and they won't be able to escape from this area. Alright, so it seems that both Rasketron and I have already completed finishing the dirt platforms in each of the sections that we were supposed to do, and now we can move on to actually building the biomes in there. I'm going to do that off camera because I don't want to show every single detail. It will take too long and take too much time in this video log, and I do want to do other things in this video log as well. So yeah, I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. Okay, now I'm here and I'm going to fly over to the base because I'm done with each of the biomes and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Seeing it from here, it's really interesting. I was watching it the entire time from ground level, and seeing it from high up, well, I'm quite impressed with myself on this one. Basically, that's how I feel about it. So let's take a flight and let's look at it from up here, where you can see it from a little aerial view, I would say. We do have these biomes here, and I do want to go through each of them with a little bit of detail and what was my concept behind them. And this is obviously a desert biome, and instead of only doing desert stuff, I went out of my way to build a little desert well as well. Those are supposed to be rare structures within deserts. Over here we have a taiga, which is one of my favorite biomes. I actually went out of my way to bring a fox over here. We have berry bushes and we have pathways. We do have the spruce trees, we have ferns, we have all the things that you would find in a taiga biome, and also a mega taiga as well, with the mossy cobblestone, the podzol, and the coarse dirt, and the variety of trees. And if we move over here, you will see we have some red sand here because this has to do with the Badlands or Mesa biome. And oops, I actually put this string up here to prevent this from growing, so we have different sizes of cane. And we have this here, which we can actually find in a Badlands biome, which is exposed mine shafts that are abandoned. And over here we have a very rare type of biome called the Mushroom Island biome with giant mushrooms. And we have this very special mycelium soil that I did find because we do have a Mushroom Island south of Spawn Island. I also shipped in on boats these cows right here. These are mushrooms, and they're very special for many properties, which we'll get into another time. But yeah, these are the 4 biomes that I decided to go for when making the little biome mini biomes between each of the pathways here on Rasketron's base, and I think it turned out quite nicely. And he did say he was very satisfied with it. So that's it. Ooh. Okay, I'm not that good at flying after all. So now that I'm done here, I think it's time for us to leave and go home to the castle, where we have some other work that we need to get done. And it's some stuff that we already started as well, but definitely I'm going to finish it this time. So if you weren't aware, I actually did my first stream on the Isekai realm on my Twitch channel, and we actually started working on texturizing the base of this castle. That's why we have some scaffolding right there. I actually did less than that, so what I did behind the scenes off camera is actually started putting in some more of those bricks there and some of the linings as well. It took a lot of work to get this so far, but we have a lot more to do. And we did have a pillager that was stuck under here somewhere, and its flag is always poking out of the stone here, so I decided to call him Stone Shark. Every now and then Stone Shark comes around. Oh boy. Alright, so yeah, I'll continue working on all of this. It's going to be a lot of work, a lot of time consuming work, but I do have the materials for all of that. All the andesite, the cracked stone bricks. We'll be using stone stairs and all of that stuff, and also some mossy variants of these gray bricks. Yeah, I'll just get that done quickly and then I'll get back to you, because I really want this castle to move along faster, and that's what I'll be working on in the next video logs. Basically just mainly at my castle, and you see I have all the materials I need to get it done. So let's do this. Alright, it's done. And this is what I'm going to show you right now. I already put all the blocks in that I wanted for it, all the variants that are gray and work well with it, and as you can see here, this is how it turned out. It's newer at the top layer, and as it goes down it becomes more deteriorated, and that's the plan that I had for this, and I think it came out really well. I really do enjoy it. We have cracked stone bricks, we have cobblestone bricks on the side, massive variants as well to add all that detail and texture. We actually have these stairs that I actually use so that it looks like it has a missing brick in there that fell out or something like that. I think it works quite well for that as an idea. So yeah, let me just land on top of one of these trees so that we can see it properly from here. And yes, I really do like how this turned out. I'm impressed by this. I'm glad I went through with it, and it did take a lot of time, and I did it all the way around, as you can see. So it did really take me a really long time to do, but I actually really enjoyed grinding it out. It was very relaxing, and so we can move on to other things. Oh, before I forget, I did add different stone patterns here for the bridge to make it a little more interesting and not too flush with the rest of the castle. That's what I did there. And now that I'm seeing it, there's also another thing that actually worked on up here. I add some hanging lanterns here at the front, the entrance of the castle, 4 of them in different heights. They're much like the ones on the bridge, but they're hanging instead, and I really think that it looks really nice and matches with the entrance way of the castle, with the type of wood and everything that it uses. So yes, I'm really proud of what I have done so far. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show. Oh, we have this marking down here, and the reason why I have this dugout right here, because it's actually a border. I found out that I have 2 slime chunks here that go all the way around this area, all the way to the back, that you can see where the line ends, and it does go below the base of the castle as well. And I'm thinking that, you know what, maybe I should probably dig it all the way down to bedrock and see if I can make myself a slime farm with 2 chunks, which means it will have a higher yield than with just 1 chunk. So I'm going to work on that next. I'll just have to set up my beacon and you know, work on that so that we can start digging. It's going to be another grind that I'm going to do, but it will give me lots of resources for in the castle and other projects that I'll have coming soon. Alright, so I don't have much iron because I used all the irons for the hoppers and everything in my storage system. And so I have to use my diamond and turn them into diamond blocks so that I can have a mixture of different blocks to use in order to build a fully powered beacon. So I have some iron blocks here. I have diamonds as well, and also some gold that I will be using in order to build this. Hopefully I have enough though, because I really need the power of my beacon in order to get this done fast. Last blocks here, and now we can set our beacon at the center of it. Obviously we'll need an iron ingot in order to activate it. So let's grab one of our beacons here and place it here, and then we go ahead and choose haste 2 in the interface here, and then we activate it by placing an iron ingot there and this little check mark, and we should be getting haste 2. Yes. Alright, now yes, I can start working on digging up this thing. It's going to be a grand excavation, and I do want to complete it in about 2 hours. So let's see. I love how fast this goes. But yeah, let's see if I can get this done in just 2 hours. I'll be back when I'm done. I'm done now. Unfortunately, there were no lava pools while I was digging on my way down, so that made it easier for me and made it efficient on time for me to get all of this done. As you can see, it's already, we have bedrock blocks poking out there. I had to bring my beacon lower because they couldn't really dig when I was at this level, which is no issue. But as you can see, all the walls are stone, like I always do with everything new that I'm doing, and then eventually replace them. See, okay, we have some coal blocks here that it's being an eyesore to me. If it's not flush with everything that is stone, then it's an issue for me, because for some reason I have to replace everything on the walls with stone, and then probably later on I do you know, make it a little bit more detailed and texturized. But anyway, I guess it's time for me to fly up quickly. And what I'm going to do next is check out how many diamonds I can get from these 18 ores that I got when I excavated the 2 chunks for the 2 slime chunks. So let's see how many diamonds we can get from this. And I know it's not going to be anything grand in number like a stack, which is impossible to get out of only 18 ores. So at least if it doubles that. And we got 33, which is quite good. I have no issue with that. I'm always up for having diamonds. So let's just put that in the sorting system because we do have storage for these things like the coal ore, the diamonds, and the stone. And as you can see, I do have some slime balls and slime blocks here because I actually had to be killing a lot of the slimes that have been spawning inside of the 2 chunks that I have excavated. They're always spawning at the bottom of the floor. And I don't think there are any. Oh no! Oh, I thought I was going to land properly there. I just wasted that totem of undying. All right, so we oh yeah, okay. See, I had to remove my beacon and I didn't realize we still have slime spawning around here, which is good, which means that the farm should be working properly once I get it built. So let me just get rid of these guys and then we should start working on the layers of this farm because most slime farms require layers and levels that go almost all the way up. The first thing that I want to do though is actually mark out the borders of each of the chunks because these are 2 chunks here and I'm going to be using glass for that. I'll be lining up the areas and separating the chunks so that I can know where each of the chunks start and how to build within them. So that's what I'm going to do here. And by doing so, like I have done already, I can get a clear picture as to how I want to set this thing up in order for me to do the farm properly. And you know, actually have space for a collection system and everything. So yeah, this is the separation of the 2 chunks right here. Yeah, that's how we'll get started because I want everything connect together as one thing, and that way I can, you know, get the most out of it basically. So let's start by building the first platform all the way down here. So we will have several platforms going upward, about 8 or 9 of them. Well, actually 8 after this one, so it's 9 total, yes. As you can see, I've smelted some regular stone in order to make these smooth stone blocks because they look really nice. And it's a common thing for most people to use when they are making farms of this caliber. That's why I decided to use it as well. It does look really nice and clean, so yeah. All right, I realized something halfway through. I don't have enough of that, so I'll have to smelt some more stone and make them into smooth stone. But I also realized I need some extra space to put some stuff in, so I would say about 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks inward. So I'll have to set up my beacon once again so that I can dig all the way down to bedrock with the length of the 2 chunks as well. So I do still have a lot of digging to do, and I'll get back to building the farm when I'm done with that. Alright, I've done it. As you can see, 4 blocks outward from the 2 chunks have been dug all the way down to bedrock, and that's because we need that space in order for us to put some golems and stuff that we need in order to see. We have a lot of spawns happening right here. If we have, I also did put some more platforms. I started to build some more platforms as well, and this is very dangerous. I have to be careful each time I fall off from here, but I have a few platforms here, and on each, see, we have lots of spawns going on. We actually do need proper lighting to prevent spawns of other mobs. So yeah, and right here I plan to have like a rail system. So I do have some rails here, some powered rails, some regular rails, and we need stuff, and we need redstone in order to power it so that it can collect all the drops from these slimes and store them away in a storage system. So I guess the next thing that I want to work on would be this rail system here. So we do have some areas that don't have bedrock, so it can be removed, and I think we can probably use that in order to place down like the power rails. Right here I can put a redstone block, for example. So let me just remove that there and put that there and place that there. And then we have powered rails that lead all the way there. Okay, and so from then on, because we do need some regular rails as well, that way we don't waste much of the powered rails, and set them out. And every once in a while we have intervals of redstone blocks going across that will have powered rails on them, about 3 of them. or two of them, and then just continue putting regular rails. That way we don't, you know, we're going to be efficient and effective with this. So that's what I have in mind, and that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully it works out fine enough for me. All right then. Okay, so I have a setup here that I'm quite satisfied with. I think it will work out decently. We have a sufficient amount of powered rails here to ensure that it keeps on moving and never stops or slows down. And from here, I guess with that test, we can see that it goes all the way around, just like that, just as intended. Of course, that's just a minecart, and I'm actually going to be using a hopper minecart for the collection system in this. And it does return perfect. Everything runs smoothly, and I think we're done with that right there. We don't have to worry about anything except what will be built on top of it then. Also, for these different layers, I've had trouble getting pumpkins because they take very long to grow, and so we need pumpkins and a torch in order to make a jack-o'-lantern, and that's the best kind of lighting source to use here because it's spawnable as well. Yes, they are. Okay, I'm done messing around. So all of that being said, I actually went ahead and made a makeshift pumpkin farm here, and they seem to be growing a lot now, especially since I don't need them anymore. I already got enough in order to finish all the other layers down here. For this slime farm here, we have spawns going on here, so each of the layers are properly lit with the jack-o'-lanterns and properly spawnable as well, so we won't have any other mobs other than the slimes that will spawn in each of these layers right here. So the next thing that we want to work on is have a way to cover up this rail system, because they will be falling from all the way up there, and we don't want them to be messing around with anything under here. So we have to keep it secure, and we will have a layer on the top, but we need somewhat like steps going upward. So I'm going to be placing these slabs right here. And then of course we do need a method in order to kill these slimes, so we'll have these magma blocks right here that they will land on, and they will be killed by this. They will take a lot of damage eventually, even though they break down to different sizes. So we put this right here one time and ensure it's going properly. Then we cover up the entire place with magma blocks. Yeah, I need to get more because I didn't have that much. I didn't realize it would be using so much magma blocks. All right, so now we have this complete right here. So we just have to ensure that nothing gets tampered with. I don't think so, because I don't think they can pass through the blocks or anything, so they'll fall from up there and get burned here. And we have a minecart hopper system going below that will be collecting all the drops that they leave behind. We also need to make a ledge here so that the 3 block tall slimes can actually pass through. If not, they will get stuck right there. And now we have to dig out and install the cells that we will be using for the iron golems, because slimes, whenever they see iron golems, they do go for them, like they want to attack them. So we'll use the iron golems as bait. So what I'm going to do is actually build an iron golem right here. So we need this formation right here, a T like that, and at the top we put a pumpkin head, and it should spawn one in just like that. Now, oh, he's getting damaged. Let me just push him in there quickly, and then we block him off right here with some glass blocks. That way he can stay in there, and the slimes can actually see him from down here and want to go to attack him, and in doing so they will go on top of the magma blocks, and then after they will die and leave their drops down here, right? All right, let me just go ahead and find my center here where we have these 4 blocks here. So this is our center, and we will make the iron golem cells here to be centered with that. And then once we're done with that, because we already have 2 of them here already, it's still not certain that the slimes will actually see them, so we have to remove some of these blocks here like this on both sides, so that the slimes would have proper line of sight with the iron golems, and then they can go ahead and die on the magma blocks. All right, so let me go ahead and finish the rest, and I'll get back to you. It did take an amount of time for me to get this done, but I didn't make any mistakes, and it came out quite well. So what we have on both sides are 5 iron golems going upward. That's so that each of the layers we have line of sight with the slimes and the iron golems, so that they can actually jump down. Perfect timing. We got one that just fell. That's how this farm is going to work basically. all the slimes will want to go attack the iron golems, and they will fall to their deaths down there. And if they don't die, they will burn on the magma blocks, and then we can pick up all the drops. So, well, I guess what we need to work on now is a collection system down there. What I think I need a bubble elevator going upward so that I can get out of here, and also want to come down. But as you can see, I've already built the collection system, and it's already collecting all the slime balls that have dropped from the slimes that have died, and it works pretty fine. And well, let me just see how I can get out of this hole right here, because it's going to be tricky until I actually build some bubble elevators. Yeah, this didn't take very long to do, so let me just go down. It's like from here all the way down to bedrock, so it does take some time, even with a bubble elevator, to actually reach the bottom of this farm. Well, it was really long. And what I want to do, oh, okay, it's definitely working fast. I love this farm already. I'll seal off this area so that we don't have any little slimes or anything like that coming in here and coming to mess up the entire farm or anything like that. We want maximum rates from this, so let's just go up this bubble elevator. I think there's only one more thing left for me to do in order to finish up this farm completely, and I've already lit this area so that we don't have any mobs spawning and going inside of the bubble elevators and messing up my farm rates and everything. So what we have to do is seal this up with some blocks, but we can't use solid blocks because it will block the spawns. So I assume that we need some transparent blocks so that we can keep the farm running. So I need to remove these glass blocks from here that I used as the outline for the chunks, and then I placed down these stone slabs to match with the stone blocks, and these are transparent blocks. And this is what it looks like when it's completely sealed off. And now that it's sealed off, we can actually start adding water from this level using sources from that pumpkin farm over there, and fill this entire moat with water like I had planned for a very long time. You can't have a moat without water or lava, but in this case, water is the way to go. First, I have to get rid of this pumpkin farm here because we have no use for it anymore, but I do want to use the water sources in here using this bucket so that I can fill out the moat properly, because it is a nearby water source. And yeah, just when I'm thinking if I have no more things to do for this one episode, we have to fill out this whole moat right there with this one bucket. If only there was an easier way for me to actually, you know, fill out this entire moat, but we have to do it the hard way, and I hope I can get it done without any issues. The question is now, to what level do I do it? To 3 blocks up or 4 blocks upward? I'm not sure. I don't want it to cover too much of this bridge right here, so based on this, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4, or maybe have the water 5 blocks high. This is sort of difficult to decide, but I guess the first thing I can do is actually level the water up slowly, and then from there figure out which one I'm more satisfied with, and I'll get back to you when I'm done with that, or if anything interesting happens while I'm recording it. So I just have to keep making water sources nearby and reusing them just like that, and it plays. It's that looks just like a wave that's rushing forward. That's so neat. I wonder what it looks like from the front. Oh, the pillagers did rise up in the boat. That's so neat. I wonder if I can do it again, because this is just one level upward, right? So if I start doing that all the way to the end, then it should do the same thing for me, right? All right, let's see if this works. Yes, it's the same thing. Oh my goodness, this is the first time I'm actually seeing a wave. I didn't know you can create waves. That's so neat. But I guess it's a one-time thing. The boat did rise up as well. I'm enjoying this. Let me check. Oh my goodness, what? I came down here to check my rates to see how much slime I've gathered so far, but nothing is in there. Something must be wrong up there. It must be because I sealed it off. I'm guessing these slabs don't allow sky access, so I guess I have to remove them and replace them with something that is more certain, like for example glass. We can use these glass blocks that I have here, which I had to grind out for, so I'm still working hard just for this one video log, and so far it seems like nothing still is spawning, and I can't leave it open because the water is over there and I want to fill this entire area. We can't have water pouring down from here, so we do need something to seal it off. So I'll just try another thing. See, I started breaking the glass, and you can see a little slime down there that has already spawned, so the glass is stopping it from actually spawning. Oh my goodness, so I can't win with this, like seriously. I'll try something else quickly right now and see if it actually will work, because I really want this to work, but if I have to leave this open like this, it won't work for me. See? Another one spawned because I have it open outside. And it won't spawn under this, so let me try an alternative to sealing up this place without allowing water to drop down, and I'll see how it goes. So the alternative that I tried are these iron bars here. They do allow a lot of light to pass through, and they don't allow water to flow down when it's on top of all of them like that, when they're set up like a grid just like that. And I did take a lot of time to do this just to test it here, and nothing is spawning yet again. And you know what? I'm going to give up on this. At this point, I decided to basically just cover up the thing, remove all the iron bars and cover it up back with glass, because this one is the most certain one for me, and hopefully it works in the future. But what's more important is for me to fill this entire place with water and have the moat set and finished by the end of this video log. Oh, we have a lot of work to do. Alright, so I'm officially finished with filling the entire moat with water, and I think I should just have a little quick fly around to show you what all has been filled out. It's all around. It did take another amount of grinding to do, like most things that I've been doing in this one video here. But yeah, I think I chose the right water level for this one here, so yep. Also, I want to install below the bridge one of these conduits here, so that when I start terraforming inside of the moat in the future, I can do that easily with the actual power that the conduit provides for me, and also that I can see clearly under the water as well. There's so many fine details that I will want to go over in the future when it comes to my castle project here, which is my main base overall. So let me just seal up this right here, and you can see that the conduit is hidden right below the bridge. And wow, so many creepers are here. I did install those little blocks there as steps so that I can come out of this moat easily, but it seems that mobs are using it to come down and have a little swim or something like that. Anyway, you know what? I'm done for. I'm sure this video log is going to be longer than usual, so I'm just going to end it right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as usual, if you liked it, leave a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You know I always answer my comments, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe because it helps the channel out a lot, and the more I get subscribers, the more videos I can take out very often, or more often, very often, whichever one. I'll try to take out videos often anyway. Bye bye. Okay, one more thing, and it has to do with these little red cows here called mushrooms, as I said before when I was building this little biome thing here for Rasketron. I do think that I want to breed these two things. I'm not sure what they eat, but I want them, and for some reason they're stuck here. Yeah, I want to farm them at my own base as well, because I think it will be useful. I heard that when they get struck by lightning, they actually turn into brown ones, and I haven't seen those yet, so I really want to work on that. And maybe I work on, you know, work on something like that in the next video log, because Hello? Who was that? Or what was that? That's not someone I've seen before. If it is someone or a mob that I've seen before. What just happened? I think I'll fly around and look around and see if if I see anyone around here. That's strange, because it just disappeared like right in front of my eyes. Huh. Okay, well, I'm done. This is creepy. I'm getting out of here.